Hello my biddies, Shumbits back again for another video. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone's staying warm because in where I live at, it's gonna be snowing and ice tomorrow and Friday, so hopefully everyone does okay. I'm sure other states have already gotten snow, so it's not a big deal. But for me in Texas, it is not normal. But anyway, today we have a little bit of more of a sad-ish video, more of a vulnerable, I guess, or event, whatever word you want to use there. It'll be less structured, scripted. I don't really script my videos, but it'll be less structured. It'll more just be me yapping. Also, I'm gonna try to talk somewhat slow in this video, just so you guys can understand what I'm saying. Again, this is something for me personally I pay attention to, so I'm trying to work on that. Also, again, thank you for the love on my videos lately. I'm trying to stay consistent and ride the curve because I would like to grow my channel as much as possible because I think it's kind of cool. And people looking up to me or people watching my videos, you know, in the background, which I find very flattering, is the goal. So, let's get into the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, let's go. So, today's video is basically going to be about why it's okay to be frustrated when you're not growing. In my situation, it's about Twitch and social media, but this can apply to other things. But anyway, for those of you who are not in my Discord, shout out to my Discord, link in the description. I was discouraged. I have a vent channel where anybody can put, it could be happy or sad or mad or whatever, any emotions that they were feeling, you can express yourself there. So, on Twitter, I saw a post VTuber made where they showed their last year, as of 2023 last year, stats on Twitch, and then they showed that following year's stats, so basically December to December. And they had grown a lot, and they were putting tips on, you know, why they improved and like what they did, whatever. Very helpful post. You know, plenty of people appreciated it. So I was sitting there, and I decided to look at mine. I went from December 23 to December 24, and I was discouraged. I had zero growth. Basically by that I mean my CCV had not grown, my time watched had not grown, basically nothing grew. However, the only thing I did grow was my follower count, but that's irrelevant right now. But yeah, I had no growth. So I saw that and it brought me down because to me, I've only gotten better, and I've only improved everything. I've improved my assets. I got a brand new model. You know, I'm streaming 4 days a week most of the time. Like, there were just many things that had changed since I first started streaming, and so it had disheartened me. And I have peers who I love very much. I will not be naming them either. But they are artists as well, and they stream. Basically, we're both in the same niche, right? And their Twitch progress is a lot better than mine. You know, their CCV is like in the 30s on average, you know, and they have a quote-unquote smaller community. And I say quote-unquote because they have less followers than me, but their community is clearly bigger. And, you know, me and her actually talked about this the other day. You know, she's trying to help me out, whatever. But anyway, unfortunately, I have a big problem with comparing myself to others. I've always been this way in varying parts of my life, whether it be, you know, physical appearance, mental, whatever, right? And so, in this scenario, I was comparing myself to her and other artists who I've come across throughout streaming. You know, why do they do so well? What am I doing wrong? All those questions that would go through my head, and this would happen throughout the year, but sometimes I would just ignore it and keep pushing because I didn't want to give up, because I did that once before. For context of that, I actually first started streaming, I want to say early 2021. This was before I had anything really going. My ex was doing it at the time, and I kind of wanted to do it too, so I was doing it, you know, every now and then. And then I had about like 200 followers, and I got discouraged to the point where I stopped doing it because there was this creator I met. They do Splatoon content, and at the time I also wanted to do Splatoon content, and they were skyrocketing, they were growing, it was crazy. And they had grown so much because I kind of came across them again, and they grew so much and it just knocked me out. I was done. I was just tired. I was like, wow, like they grew so much and I hadn't grown any. I was plateauing at the time. So I did give up. I gave up until the end of 22. So it was like almost a year. So anyway, that restart was great. Obviously, here we are today. But it happened once, right? Disclaimer, it's not going to happen again. I'm not going to throw in the towel due to comparisons. It's not good. It's not healthy. Please don't do that. Please try not to compare. As hard as it may be, in a world where there's always going to be someone better than you and there's always going to be someone worse than you, it's hard to not compare in life, but we have to try our best. But anyway, so my stats, since haven't moved in a year, I then started going down the path of questioning, me, right? Because to me and my art peers who stream, we are no different. We have lovely graphics on our streams. We talk to our chat. We welcome in our chat. We're very welcoming. We have different models, but they're all high quality. XYZ, right? And our art styles are different, but none of them are bad. So the next thing is you, right? Because half of streaming is putting yourself out there. That is the whole point. Because to me, if I'm going to watch a streamer, I'm watching it because of the streamer, not because of the content most of the time. Because it's a personality. It's a connection that you make with them. You like their vibes, whatever the reason is, right? So if my friend can get 30 CCV consistently, clearly she's doing something I'm not, was my mindset. And still somewhat is, but anyway. So I told myself, okay, she's very welcoming. She's very motherly, chill, but like very sweet. So I figured, maybe it's because I have a very chill vibe. I think I'm sweet. I think I'm all these other things, right? But, people may just not vibe with how chill I am. I don't know what the reason is, honestly. I don't know. Obviously, I'm only making assumptions. I haven't asked anybody, what about me versus anybody else, because that's not good. But that's my mindset. That's where I go to. Because to me, the most flattering thing when it comes to streaming is if you have a dedicated fan base of people who come watch you no matter what you're streaming, which this was the crux of everything happening, I'll get into in a second. But I find it's very sweet when you have 20 people who will come watch every single stream regardless of what you're doing, versus those people who come only when you're doing something that they care about. Which, keep in mind, by the way, I appreciate any viewer I get. This is not to me being ungrateful. This is not being bitter. It's not. It's just, that's just, one is just more satisfying than the other one. So, what even started all of this downwards? What started all of this was the other day, I wanted to play Mario Kart. I had on my schedule, this is what I wanted to do. I had did it in a long time and I wanted to play with my community. So I booted up stream, I'm sitting there waiting, and nobody comes to play. 30 minutes go by, which was a waste of time, and I was discouraged. I was. So I pivoted to Marvel Rivals and then just played for like an hour and then left. That got into my head so bad because, like I said, I just don't have people who want to watch me for anything that I do. They just want to watch, my art, or if I happen to play a game that's their favorite game, right? And I should be flattered. Oh, they want to watch you for your art. That's cool. It is. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I would prefer if you would come watch me no matter what. Even if you don't participate, at least come watch. Because nobody was there. There was like 1 or 2 people who I appreciate, of course. But it really broke me down. It really sucked to want to do something with the community and then nobody shows up for it. It's like hosting a birthday party and none of the people you invited show up. It's basically how it feels. So that's what started everything. And after really a year and a half of doing this, that I have a few people who are those people who will come to watch my stream no matter what I do, but I really don't have any more than that. And obviously that shows in the statistics. If after a year and a half you stay at the same concurrent viewers, which for Twitch that means on average how many viewers are sitting in your stream, lurking or chatting, it doesn't matter. I've been at 10 for over a year and a half, and that bothers me because that makes me think I'm doing something wrong. And maybe I am, maybe I'm just crazy and not appealing. I don't know. I don't believe that's the case, but I really have nothing else to base it off of besides that, so I guess I will hold to that until, I don't know, something's proven otherwise. And, Again, I don't mean to be like sad or pity me, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm just expressing myself on the internet, which a lot of people do, and I figured I'd do the same since it's been on my mind. But it is okay to feel this way. I feel like, and I remember I talked about this in one of my first commentary videos I did, where people never want to be negative. They never want to show that they're upset about things because they don't want to seem like they're being ungrateful or they're whining, essentially. I don't like that mindset. Like, there's a clear difference between someone actually whining and being ungrateful versus like someone just venting about things that will happen as you do this type of thing. Like, I'm sure even the big people on whatever social media you want to tack on there went through these struggles too when they were small. Obviously, it's hard to relate to them now because they're so huge, right? But I'm sure they had it, but they didn't talk about it. Or then maybe they'll talk about it now since they're big and inspirational. But for the small people, I feel like we don't get the room to say these things. And I pride myself in being open about stuff. I think if you are feeling discouraged by something, sad by something, frustrated, you know, you should be allowed to talk about it. And if your friends or whoever is around you is shunning you for it, they are not your friends. Because on the flip side, you would want to support them when they were going through something. So then why can't they give you the same support? That's how I feel about it anyway. Hot take, not really at all, but this is how I feel about these topics. So, you know, me being discouraged and me being frustrated, yes, it is a little bit tough to talk about because it does seem like I'm being ungrateful. And when I was talking about it in my server with a few of my mods, I felt bad then because it felt like I was being almost like in their face, like, you don't show up my streams. I never said that. They're the ones who show up, but it's like, you know, it feels like I'm showing them that I'm whining because I don't have enough people in my streams. And they're just trying to help me out, give you advice, whatever. And I really appreciate it. But I have a bad habit of undermining my own feelings, which please don't do. It is very toxic. But I'm trying to get out of it. And honestly, these videos are a little bit of an outlet for me to kind of get it out on the table. And for those of you who feel the same way I do, you can connect in that sense because you probably don't want to share your woes that you have with many things, but in the comment section, again, please feel free to put anything that you want to say, whether it be relating to the video or not. You know, it's a way to kind of connect with others who also feel the same as you, and we can all kind of support each other, kind of boost each other. One of my goals for 2025, I put it on Twitter, was for my CCV to not stay stagnant. Because last year, when I made my goals, I put a number. I said, I want my CCV to be 20. That did not happen, and I felt embarrassed about it. So we're gonna make it a bit more broad. I just don't want it to be stagnant for the whole year. I actually want to progress upwards, because, oh, I forgot to say this. My ratio of followers to people who watch is awful, which is tough because I don't want to call people hollow followers. That sounds rude. But like when you follow me but then you don't watch, it's kind of like a hollow follower because it bloats my numbers visually when people look at my channel. But then when you watch a stream, it doesn't really match. You know, it's kind of like if you watch somebody with 10K followers, right, on Twitch, you would expect them to have some numbers backing that up, you know, maybe like 50 people. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way. They may have 10 or 20, right? And that's probably discouraging to them as well. And when they see people smaller than them who are doing better, you know, that whole thing, right? That's the whole point of this video, is you notice things that will get you down regardless, as much as you don't want to. But anyway, yeah, so when people follow me but don't, you know, become a community member or don't watch my videos, my streams, it does kind of suck. And again, I appreciate anybody who follows. Like, I do appreciate it. But unfortunately, in my mind, it looks like I should have more, but I don't. And like, what I've been using as like a somewhat rule of thumb is typically on social media, take the amount of followers or subscribers or whatever term that you have, and then 10% of those people will most likely tune in or like or look at your stuff. And on average, it's been about-ish true for the most part. On YouTube especially, that matches up. Twitter, it really depends what you drew. Twitch, on the other hand, no. Is rough. Because in theory, based on my current followers, I should be at 25 CCV on average. No, I'm not. And it's just, it is what it is. And again, I love my viewers. I love the community I've grown. I am not ungrateful. I really appreciate it, and I'm humble because I don't deserve viewers in any sense. Nobody does. So if I do get any, I appreciate it a lot. But at the same time, I am also allowed to, you know, feel discouraged, feel upset about these things because it's fair. You know, sometimes I feel like, am I not good enough for people? I know that's sad. I know. And it's probably not true. But that's what goes through your mind because, again, streaming is half of selling yourself. So if others are watching, you know, my peers more than me, that's fine because they're great people. But of course, I will then self-reflect and think maybe, you know, I'm just not as open or chill as people, you know, maybe I'm not as personable as I think I am. I don't know. I promote myself as such. I promote myself as a chill place for people to vibe and just kind of take a load off. But hey, people don't vibe with me. There's not a thing I can do about that. I'm not going to change my personality just to appeal to a crowd. I've never liked that. Thus why I don't act like a cutesy VTuber. You know, I don't do all that just for that reason. But it is what it is, I guess. You know, I'm not gonna quit streaming. I'm not gonna quit making content. Don't worry. This was just a vent. Since it was on my mind, I figured, why not make a video about it? A lot of you guys will probably relate and or feel my feelings. Please, again, put in the comments. I would love to hear about it. And give advice if I can give some, since, you know, it's been an ebbs and flows for sure. And that goes with anything, social media, mental health, self-esteem. It's all ebbs and flows, and some days are going to be really great and some days are going to be not so great. But at the end of the day, as long as you pull through those bad days and make it into decent days, I think it was worth it. You did a good job. But one of the things I've been learning is to not beat myself up so much, because clearly I don't think there's anything wrong with me. It's just, you know, there's a multitude of factors that I cannot pinpoint that are probably out of my control for the most part. And I just have to learn to live with that. You know, I said in my previous video that, you know, I may blow up or I may not. I may catch, you know, a nice windfall and start growing faster than I think, or I might stay slow and stagnant. But at the end of the day, I'm still grateful for what I have, and that's gonna be what fuels me to continue to do this. And again, I appreciate the support on everything that I do. I'm a very small artist, and I don't know where the world will take me in this new year, but I hope it's going to be good things. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try my best to achieve some goals that I want to do. You know, I want to push my brand out there. I don't know what I want to do, but I mean, I have an idea of it, but I just don't know what part of it's going to take like charge and how it's gonna mold into everything. But I'm optimistic for the year. I think we're all gonna succeed in something. It could be something small, it could be something big, it doesn't matter. But successes are honestly the best feeling, so if it's small success, then I will never complain. But anyway, yapping aside, it's another video coming to a close. Quickly want to yap about some of the things I have on the side, if you would like to check out. I do have a Ko-Fi. I don't use it for commissions. I use it for memberships only, basically like Patreon. I have my $1 tier, which is my thank you tier, my $5 tier, which is the mid tier, has some perks in there. I'm going to put the link in the description. And then I have my $15 tier, which that is the biggest tier. You get a plushie that shows up on screen. You get doodles every single month, stuff like that. So if you want to check it out, please feel free. Never feel pressured to donate to me. I'm just a small girl on the internet who draws sometimes. It's just something that I have to attempt to build my brand. However, if you do want to support me and get something in return, I do have a VGen, has all my commissions on there. Free to check it out. It's constantly either in waitlist or open. It just depends. And then of course check out my other socials, which are always pinned at the bottom of the video. And with that, I'm going to go to bed. I'm done editing this video. You guys take care of yourselves. I'm gonna give you a big hug through the screen. You can do this. We're gonna make it through another week, another month, and another year. Please take care of yourselves. Love you guys so much. Mwah. Bye.